What the? Hello there, welcome to Genessis-Models. My name is Bobby Waldron and this is the Genesis-Models show 11th of December 2015, and Christmas is getting closer, so hopefully you're getting all excited for whatever models you're going to be getting for Christmas. This week I've been doing all sorts of stuff, and actually just before I was about to start actually filming the show, guess what arrived in the post? Yes, AK Interactive has sent me a nice couple of books. We have the Aces High magazine, and we also have The Eagle Has Landed, and this is like a diorama book. It is absolutely massive, loads of content in this book. I'd like to review it for this show, but actually, do you know what, I actually need to read this before I do any sort of reviewing of it, so that'll be a nice bit of reading for me, and I'll probably give it a shout out next week. However, this week we do have the Aces High magazine, so let's just jump straight in and let's have a little mini product review of this. So here is issue 6 of Aces High magazine by AK Interactive. Again, you know, as usual, really good quality paper. Costs about €9 as well, and in this month's magazine it is based around the Battle of Britain, summer 1940. So moving along through this, just a nice quick sort of rundown of what basically we're looking at. We've got all these different builds that are going to be going on in this actual magazine, and it starts off with, I do believe it is the HE11. Nice build going on here. Again, you know, it shows us more intermediate and advanced work in building aircraft. Some cracking spray work there on the underside, and just flicking through this, we've got all sorts of weathering techniques as well. We've got Hasegawa's Mark I Hawker Hurricane going on with this one, with some nice cockpit work and spray work and weather work. We do have Eddard's absolutely lovely, this is the 1/32nd scale BF 109E1, really good aircraft. And actually you might notice here as well, there's sort of like a modulation effect going on the underside, which is what we're basically doing now in the Hurricane and Spitfire rapid video build. So it's nice to see that someone else is doing it. We're just flicking through this because there's no point me showing you every single page. You know, we do get a nice little poster, which is rather cool. And I do believe we do have a Hawker Hurricane in here. Oh, we do also have a Junker JU87 in here, and that one's by Hasegawa. I do like the Hasegawa version. But yeah, hopefully, as you can see, it does show a lot of sort of intermediate and advanced stuff. This, I do believe, is the Tamiya Supermarine Spitfire Mark I kit. That is a fantastic kit for any beginner coming into the modelling, to do a nice, easy kit that fits together absolutely gorgeous, not very expensive, and it is very satisfying build. And you know, we get a load of tips and stuff on building this aircraft and spraying it, painting it. Also, we do see this absolutely fantastic markings of the Eurofighter Typhoon in Battle of Britain paint scheme as well. I did want to get my hands on this kit. I do believe Hasegawa released it, but I do think you can actually get the decals for it for the Revell kit. Yeah, absolutely, you know, gorgeous aircraft and kit markings there, as well as we do get a bit of diorama going on as well with figure painting, and we've got like a little car in here, and we get a sneak peek of what is going to be next month's release at AK Interactive for the sorry, what was it again, the Aces High magazine, which is going to be natural metal finishes, so that should be nice to have a look at. So yeah, big thumbs up there for AK Interactive's Aces High magazine issue 6, based around the Battle of Britain. So that's Aces High there by AK Interactive. Now this week I've been working on our F-15, which is getting close to completion, which is, you know, fantastic. We've actually got it on all threes now. This isn't quite 100% dry, so I don't want to leave it on all threes. But yeah, we've literally halfway through the weathering stage, and we're getting close to actually whacking on that final matte coat, which really sort of brings everything to an end. So what I want to do actually is I want to just jump in here and just show you a quick sort of like tip of the week, just something I've tried out new and it works really well. So, you know, take a look at this. Right, let's have a bit of a tip of the week here. Now, a nice little technique for when you are filling in your recessed panel lines and recessed rivets. Now, as you can see, I've been working on our F-15 this week. I have done a wash on this, cleaned it up, and tried to get the wash into all those recessed panel lines, so we end up with the effect of, you know, bringing all that detail out and livening things up. However, not all models are shall we say Hasegawa or Tamiya or Edard, where, you know, all those recessed panel lines are really nice and crisp and of a nice depth to take a wash. Some kits, they can be quite shallow. Some kits can be, you know, not so kind of, shall we say, consistent with their recessed panel lines. Sometimes it takes a wash in a certain area, but then there's a little area where you know, it's the mold not gone quite right, so we haven't been able to get a wash in there, or maybe it is well, down to you basically, in the sense that you've maybe done some sanding and you've ended up filling in a recessed panel line with the sanding dust, and then because you haven't cleaned it up, you know, you've come along with your spraying, your glossing and all those kind of things, and it basically turns that sanding dust into a filler and fills in your recessed panel lines. So I've got basically that sort of a problem, you know, in a few places on this model, and we want to sort them out. So it is quite hard to sort out. However, there is a nice little technique here we can use that will sort this out quite easily. First off, get yourself a pencil, and what we're going to do, we're just going to sharpen this up. We can use a blade, we can use a pencil sharpener. I do like to sort of use a blade, and then I do actually like to come in with an actual sanding stick, right, and just sort of make this rather sharp, shall we say. We want to really sort of have a nice point to this, right, because it really does help to work its way into those recessed panel lines. So bringing in our model, we've just got at the tail end here. Hopefully, as you can see, we do, you know, you can see that the wash has you know, gone in there a bit, but it hasn't quite gone in there as well as we'd like it to. It does need a little bit of help, so I'm going to come in with my pencil now, and literally it is just a case of, you know, we do have a recessed panel line there, it's just not deep enough to take the wash. The wash just gets wiped out when we do the cleanup, and all we've got to do is just find that recess and then just sort of work the pencil into that recessed panel line just like so. And as you can see, I mean, you know, I have made a bit of a mistake here. It does not matter so much, and it really does, hopefully as you're seeing there, really does fill in that recessed panel line. Now just getting out some cotton wool buds, you know, little sort of moist cotton wool bud, and we can just tidy up, you know, those areas where we may have sort of missed it a bit of a mistake. Right. And hopefully there you go, as you can see, you know, that recessed panel line has been nicely put back in there, and we haven't got to faff around, because I mean really it would pretty much be a case of damaging your model. I know in the past I have come along, I've used a blade and I've scored along the recessed panel line and then reapplied the wash. That works, but you really do sort of cut into your actual paintwork, and it is sort of you know, if you slip, you know, that's it, you've sort of messed up your paintwork. So it is a bit of a risky move really, but this pencil, it's really great. You can just wipe it away if you're not happy with it, and you know, I have quite enjoyed it. It's a nice tip of the week, something I've sort of learnt myself this week, so hopefully you've enjoyed that nice little tip. So there's the F15 there. We've got an episode of that up on the website as well. Now what I want to do, I want to sort of, because we're coming to the end of 2015 and you know we've got 2016 on the way, I want to sort of change things, the format a little bit. I know, you know, for the 5 years I think we've been doing this, I've always had more than one build on the go at one time, which sort of slows things down a bit, so to speak. What I want to try and do for 2016 is I want to try and speed things up a little bit. I want to basically like get these models finished a little bit quicker, and I do feel like if I change the format to, shall we say, to stick with like sort of like one build, I mean, you know, it isn't 100% like definite, but I mean your feedback on this is you know, more than welcome. But what I want to do, I just want to sort of get more episodes out. I want to get these builds finished sort of like a lot quicker, a lot sooner, and I feel like if I've got like say 3 builds on the go at one time, like if we go back a month or two, we had the F15, we had the Sherman, we've got the Spitfire and Hurricane, and we had all these builds going on all at the same time. I'd be, one week it would be, you know, F15, the next week it'd be Spitfire, Hawk, Hurricane, next week it would be Sherman, and it's the whole process of like picking up a model, building it, putting it back down, picking up a new one, and it just sort of, it doesn't allow me to sort of really sort of get into a build, and you know, it's quite obvious really, if I'm building one build and I'm working on that permanently until it's done, it's going to be done a lot quicker than, you know, getting 3 builds done. You know, so I want to sort of make things a bit more fast-paced for 2016 and sort of get these builds started and finished a lot quicker. So what I'm going to do, and you know, as I say, it's not definite, I want to get your feedback on it, but what I'm going to do is, I've got the F15 here, it's close to completion. I'm gonna just, I'm literally just gonna finish this now. I'm just gonna literally sort of, next week I'm gonna work on this and I should hopefully have it finished, and I want this finished for basically 2015. I want to get it finished before Christmas, and get those videos released for it as well. So we'll have the F15 out the way, and then, you know, depending upon what feedback I get, you know, I'll just jump right in Spitfire, Hurricane, and I won't put it down until it's finished. I know there is also the HMS Victory, which I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do that. Feedback on that would be great, because with the HMS Victory, I mean, for a start, the magazines, I'm only halfway through the magazines, so you know, there's at least another year's worth of actually just collecting the magazines, let alone actually building it. You know, I'm not saying I'm not going to build it and not video it. I am going to build it, I am going to video it. It's just, where shall we sort of work this in? I don't know if I still should sort of like devote a whole week to HMS Victory, and that week is going to be just, you know, releasing HMS Victory videos, or whether I should try and do it somewhere in my spare time and sort of try and release an episode a month while devoting every week to actual plastic scale modelling, because I know the HMS Victory, it is a different subject, because I mean, you know, we've got our plastic scale models here, and then we've got like a wooden scale model HMS Victory, which is just over there, which is rather different, and I can sort of appreciate how some people might not have the interest in the HMS Victory, and really we come here to Genesis Models for plastic scale models. So again, feedback on that. I'm not quite sure what I want, how we're going to work that one, but I sort of want to go into 2016 with sort of, you know, changing things up a bit. But the whole kind of idea is, you know, to get more out, to be a bit faster, be a bit more fast paced, to get these builds started, finished quicker. You know, so yeah, that's sort of like what I want to come for 2016. And again, feedback on that is sort of like a must. I need to know what you guys think of that. So right, next up in the show, well, first off, a bit more news. Yes, the what is it? The carrier-based, the aircraft carrier-based group build is coming to an end. To just sort of finalise that, it's the 31st that it comes to an end, and then probably a week or two after that, in one of the shows, I'll announce who the winners are. I was kind of thinking, again, feedback, I might sort of get out the green screen and sort of show everybody's work, and maybe sort of like you know, give some feedback on everybody's work, you know, maybe sort of give some tips on how to sort of improve it from the pictures that you put up there on the final reveal section. Again, that's just like me just kind of thinking out loud. So feedback there, and it will be, I do believe it was I think I'll make it like the 1st of January. We will sort of start whatever the next group build's going to be, or something like that. Again, you know, I'm not quite sure what's going on over Christmas, but yeah, somewhere around about then we're going to announce the next group build, which is being voted by you guys. So if you don't know, get in there on the forum, in the proposal section, you will see a section in which you can make your own proposal of what you would like the next group build to be, or you can just go along and vote on what everyone else has proposed. So you know, you can sort of pick what it is you would like to be the next group build. Next up as well in the show is I've been doing all sorts this week. I did actually finish Superman for my daughter's birthday cake, and I forgot to take some pictures, sadly. So next week I'll get some pictures of Superman. He does look rather cool. But this week I have also been working on some BattleFleet Gothic, which I know it's a bit of a dead game, but it is supposed to be coming back, and I just thought, you know what, again, it's one of these things, I've been painting it, so why not film it. Right, let's have a mini build here of a Chaos cruiser from the game BattleFleet Gothic. Now with this type of model here, we really sort of get to just go nuts with dry brushing. So if you're having problems with dry brushing, you know, this is a video to watch, or if you're a fan of BattleFleet Gothic, this one is as well. Now first off, you know, this miniature is about 10 years old. It is a game that is very old. It's a specialized game. It's basically been discontinued, so it is quite hard to find the miniatures. However, I do believe Games Workshop did announce that they're going to be re-releasing Gothic. So, you know, for the future, hopefully 2016, we'll be seeing this as a re-release. But let's get down to some painting principles. So, first off, with these kind of miniatures, these bases break off left, right and centre and they're an absolute pain. As you can see, this one's already broken off. Now what I've done is I've got a nice little rod here. It's about 1 mil thick, and this rod is a carbon fiber rod, so very, very strong and very, very light. Nice and simply cut a piece of that off. We drill a hole in the center of our base here and into the center of our hole, which I've already done, and we simply get some super glue, right, and we're just going to glue this into place. So just pouring a bit of this glue on one end. Shouldn't really need that much. Push it into the hole one end, and then we can get some glue on the other, and this should glue this into place nice and quickly. Right, but then what you want to do is you want to sort of press it down, get your head down to the table with the Mark 1 eyeball and sort of get it in that position that you want it, right? Because you don't want to glue it into a position where you know, it's leaning to one side or not level or something like that. However, I mean, you can, if you want, have it in sort of like maybe a turning move. So you can sort of have it turning one way or something like that if you want, but I prefer to have mine nice and level. Right, and that's glued in, as you can see, rather quickly. So I'm just getting my super glue. I like to just kind of get off whatever glue's on the end, give it a push, right, squeeze it in, make sure there's none in the nozzle end, and then put the lid on. It really just is beneficial to keep those nozzles all nice and clean. Now the colours I'm going to start off with is Corn Red by Citadel, really cool paint, and we're going to be using Citadel's dry brush, which is their nice big fat dry brush here. Let's get a kitchen paper towel as well. Right, and what we're going to simply do is, with this stage of dry brushing, it's a heavy dry brush I'm going to be doing for this one, so really sort of want to load this brush up with a fair bit of paint than you'd normally would in dry brushing, and really sort of work that paint into the bristles. And what we're going to do is we're not just going to come along and, as you probably would with dry brushing, and just lightly sort of go over the top, right, so that you just kind of touch on the top surfaces of the detail, but I really want to sort of work this one in. So I just want to get some more paint on my brush here, and I really want to sort of work it in so it doesn't just sort of get the tops of the detail, but it also sort of works into, almost sort of goes in and works its way into all the recesses as well. So let's bring you in a little bit more closer. So hopefully, as you can see there, I am really working this in. Alright, not just sort of getting in there with just the top surfaces. Let's we don't want it to be that wet that, I mean, we're literally sort of like painting this. Right, we really want it to still be a nice dry brush effect. Right, but we really sort of do want to almost sort of completely paint this, but we're not completely paintbrushing it. We're sort of completely paintbrushing it in a dry brushing fashion, so it really does get everywhere. So there's our first layer of dry brushing. As you can see, we've really sort of worked it in there, but it's left you know, a nice bit of that black primer still sort of showing through in all the sort of really sort of recessed areas, as you can see there. And just turn it over. Right, but what I want to do now is highlight it, and highlight it dry brushing as well. So as you can see, building this, is a really easy build. So I'm going to be using Evil Sun's Scarlet, Blood Red if you remember the old paint colours. And what we're going to do, come in, same paintbrush again, right, kitchen paper towel, and we're just going to work this into the paintbrush. Only this time we want to be a little bit lighter because we are highlighting our corn red. So this time we're not going to like work into all the sort of nooks and crannies. We are sort of going to just nicely blast over the top of this, right, doing all our highlights. Now this stage should be a lot quicker as well. Hopefully, as you can see, we've almost finished the top, right, and it is so easy to do this, and it's so effective at the same time. Right, so as you can see, I mean the top is almost done on that. Let's just work some more painting. Right, and the thing is with dry brushing as well, it's one of these things where yeah, you sort of get the feel for it. 'Cause I mean with dry brushing, I mean sometimes, you know, as you saw the first layer of dry brushing, we really sort of went to town and worked it in there, and now we sort of are just wanting to sort of highlight the surfaces, so we're not brushing into it as much, or maybe not have the brush as wet, shall we say. You know, it's one of these things where you do eventually sort of get the feel for how dry your brush is. I mean, there are different levels of how much paint you have got on your brush. I know it's called dry brushing, but there are still pigments in there. It is still got wet paint on there, but it's just so light on the paint. You know, in different sort of pressure as well, you know, the amount of sort of pressure you actually apply while dry brushing will sort of you know, get the paint to come out. And as you sort of, you know, dry brushing along as well, it's like you know, your brush might have so much paint on it when we start now, but as we sort of work our way along, you know, we're making our paintbrush even drier and drier, so then we can start pressing down a bit harder. So it is like, you know, kind of, you know, it is a bit of a experience curve, but it really is an easy technique to learn. Dry brushing is, because it is just, it's not hard to sort of get your head around it. I'll finish the rest off camera, but hopefully as you can see now, that's sort of giving us these different layers here. We've got that black primer. It's sort of showing through lightly in the recessed areas, and because we've dry brushed it, it does sort of come through a bit through our first layer of dry brushing, which was our corn red. And then with our corn red, you know, that's given us, you know, another sort of layer, and then we've highlighted it with our Evil Sun Scarlet, which then kind of gives us the effect of light hitting the model as well. So I'm going to finish doing this bit of dry brushing. So there is Chaos Cruisers. Now, you know, sorry I didn't quite finish that, but next week I'll finish it up, and it's only going to be like 5 more minutes of just doing some detail work, really, guns and a bit of sort of a nice pattern on there, a bit of gold, and get that Chaos Cruiser finished there. Remember as well, we do have the December's competition here, which is like a Christmas special. This is why we've got, like, there's about 8 prizes here. Remember, get on the forum in the competition section. All you got to do is post, count me in, something to that effect, and you're entered, and it will be the prize draw will be on Christmas Day. There'll be a special video, a special Christmas special, which will be launched on Christmas Day for you guys to watch on Christmas and see if you are a winner of any of these prizes. And I'll try and make the episode fun and do some cool stuff, and I don't know, maybe Santa will come along, I don't know, but we shall see. So sadly we come to the end of the show. I did actually yesterday buy this Imperial Knight here. I know it's Games Workshop, but would you like to see me build it? Yeah, again, let me know feedback and I'll see whether I'll build that or not. So yes, again, sadly we've come to the end of the show, so until next time, this is Genesis Models. My name's Bobby Waldron, and shut up and paint your fucking models.